Hey there everyone. Last week I got a job. Yay! However, my joy was short-lived as a week later I decided to quit that job due to reasons relating to the title of this video. Before I go any further, I just want to say that I'm not going to be naming any names with regard to the people or the company involved. This is due to several reasons, including me signing a confidentiality agreement which I really don't want to risk breaking. No one except my boyfriend knows who I was working for, and that's how I'm going to keep it just in case. Anyway, before I started my job, my then future but now ex-boss did warn me that sometimes he said things that some people might find inappropriate. Now, there are lots of things that some people might find inappropriate in a professional setting. In my desire to gain employment, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was also on a trial period, so I had a quick get-out-of-jail-free card if it was worse than I had imagined. It was worse than I had imagined. I'd like to share with you just some of the things this man said to me while he was my boss. Please be aware that these are not all the things that happened, that this happened over a period of 4 days, and that this man is old enough to be my father. When listing off body measurements needed for a form to be sent out to potential employees to get their uniform sized for them, he said this to me. I'm measuring you with my eyes for every one of these I list off. Part of my job was answering phone calls, and with regards to that, he said, if you want to make a bit of money on the side with that voice, I'd pay you to call me up late at night and tell me some naughty things down the phone. And another thing he said to me was, you don't want to know the things I'd like to do to you. I don't remember the conversation that was in, but for some reason that part of it did stick in my head. I do just want to say that I might not be remembering these perfectly word for word, because when you hear these things and how horrible and creepy and suggestive they are, your brain kind of just goes, no, I don't want to hear this. So it doesn't always remember perfectly what was said. However, one thing I do remember perfectly, which was the straw that broke the camel's back, was something that happened when I came back from lunch on my last day. I buzzed the intercom for one of my other bosses to jokingly go, where's your ID? It confused me at first, but then I realised it was obviously a joke, and when I got into the office I was like, you got me. It was fine, it was a silly joke. However, my boss then called me into his office where he was sitting with the prankster and said this to me. Next time he asks you for ID, just go, there you go, there's your ID, and that'll shut him up. Basically, next time he does it, flash your tits, that'll embarrass him. What? This was just it. I was just fed up of comments and relating to my body because I was there to work. I'm privileged enough to be in a position where I have people who can look after me and work to do while I'm unemployed. It was also a job that I wasn't sure about anyway, so it was a fairly easy decision to make. However, not everyone is as lucky as me. Other people have stuff like that said to them and worse in jobs that they're in, but they can't leave that job because they need the money or because it's a career that they really don't want to give up on. To those people, you have my complete empathy and respect, and good luck to you. I really hope you don't have to put up with it forever. So yeah, I quit. I sent an email saying about how I wasn't really enjoying the job and the inappropriate comments were making me feel really uncomfortable in the workplace. He accepted my resignation, but with regards to the inappropriate comments, he said this. I'm so sorry to hear that, and I fully understand. I unreservedly apologise if offence was taken, as it was never the intention. Did you hear that? That wasn't him apologising for the inappropriate things he said, but apologising for me taking offence to them, because that's not what he meant. That's a textbook example of a non-apology. By the way, if you want to learn more about non-apologies, there's a really good chescaleigh video which I will link to in the description. Just because it's not your intention for something to be offensive, that doesn't mean it's any less offensive. Instead of saying, I'm sorry you got upset by my suggestion that you flash someone, you should be saying, I'm sorry that I suggested you flash someone. That was inappropriate. Ugh! It just annoys me that he probably won't learn anything from this whole thing. He'll just brush me off as someone who can't take a joke, instead of realising that maybe he shouldn't say really overtly sexual things to people that he employs. I've had tons of inappropriate comments made about me from people online or customers that I've served in customer service roles such as bar work. But coming from your boss and your employer is just... no. But anyway, that was just my rant, because I can't believe that this is still happening in the 21st century. It just pisses me off so much that people think they can still talk to women like that. Just